Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Ninja the Ninja, and let's get started with another week of wrestling with Friday Night Smackdown. So y'all, we are literally 24 hours away from WrestleMania Night 1, and I am very excited for Night 1. Night 1 got probably the best matches that I think, in my opinion, for WrestleMania, and I just think that it's going to be a great Night 1. Night 2 scares me a little bit. I feel like Night 2, in my opinion, does not have the best matches. But sometimes it can be deceiving. Sometimes you think the best matches are actually the worst matches, and then the one that you think that was the worst is going to be the best. So, guess we will see when that happens tomorrow and Sunday. But I will be giving my review and tell you everything that took place in WrestleMania on Saturday and Sunday, and then I come back also on Monday Night Raw for the brand new season of WWE. WrestleMania this year does not really sound super exciting this year compared to other years. I think that just has something to do with the TKO brand that is just not listening to the fans, and they're just doing what they want to do that just brings in money. But the most important part of getting your money is the fans. So if the fans are not enjoying what y'all doing, then y'all need to change it. But I don't know. Like I said, I have high hopes for Night 1, but Night 2, I don't know. I don't know what I think about it. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So guys, welcome back to the show, and SmackDown opens up with Pat McAfee and Randy Orton and Nick Aldis. Just really nothing. Nick Aldis hands Pat McAfee some type of contract, and Pat McAfee's like, look, I need to read this first, word by word, and all this stuff. But Randy's like, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to the people. So then Randy walks off. Now, his thing that gets me with WWE and their storytelling, instead of Pat McAfee like pretending to take the time to read it out through the day, he just signs the contract and hands it back to Nick Aldis. You literally just said, I take time to read contracts. I'm a billionaire, he tells Nick Aldis. But he just automatically signs the contract while even reading it. Or pretending to read it, I'll say. But anyway, so then we cut to Randy. And Randy is basically just going on another Cody spill, saying that, you know what, basically, Pat McAfee is his person that told him that he needs to learn how to be him again and stop listening to what others and stop thinking about Cody and worrying about himself. He said that Cody just takes, he don't ever help out or anything. Randy helped Cody at WrestleMania. Randy helped Cody with Kevin Owens' situation 2 years ago. He just goes on with a list of everything that Cody has so-called did, and Randy tried to help, and he never gotten the return back for Cody whenever he needs it. So he basically just goes on another promo rant about Cody, and basically says that, you know what, coming tomorrow, I will become 15-time champion, and I'm taking the champion back to St. Louis, which that's his home and that's where he's from. So that was that promo. Like I said, he really didn't say nothing out the way. Just a regular old promo cut for WrestleMania. So I am so happy this is done and over with. these little segments every week gets a little bit tiresome. They're just repeating the same thing they're saying over and over. But that was that. So then he ended up hopping back into the truck with Pat McAfee and driving off to whatever. And that was it for his segment of the night. So y'all, the first match of the night, it was an 8-man street fight match between the YS6 and Solo Sikoa and MFT. Now this match, it was okay. It was a good match. You might as well would have made it a 9-man because Solo added himself into his own team. But I guess they're trying to make it fair since it is a street fight. And in street fights, anything can go. But the match was okay. It was a typical match for an 8-man tag team match. Really nothing crazy going on. Had little highs and low moments, but same typical match. Ain't really nothing to really go crazy for. So I'm just gonna give that match probably, I'll give it a good 6. Like I said, it's a typical tag team match. It had highs and lows. It was a pretty decent match. I won't say it was bad. It was pretty decent for a good show opener. And then we get Damian Priest and R-Truth. R-Truth is somehow still confusing Asuka with Danhausen, and Damian Priest is trying to say like, no, Asuka is on Raw. You saw Danhausen, and Truth was getting confused, and then he somehow said that Xavier Woods is sick, and somehow he had turned white to be Grayson Waller, and Damian Priest almost cracked. He almost basically laughed at Truth's joke. So it was pretty funny. And then somehow Truth said that they have a tag team match later on that night. So I guess so. So then it ended up pans over to The Miz and Maurice, I guess like doing their vows, renewing the vows type thing, and Danhausen just pops behind Maurice and basically cursed Maurice, and The Miz and Danhausen get into a little scuffle, and Maurice ended up getting pushed into the cake. So I don't know. They're doing things to waste our time for WrestleMania tomorrow. So I don't know. But if y'all want to see that video, WWE is definitely going to post it on their socials. So check it out if you care to see it. It was a pretty funny moment, so I encourage you to go see it. Alright, y'all. So the next thing that WWE showed was a Jacob Fatu promo. First, he came out inside of a police car. Now, this police car was like an old school model police car. They did not want to pull the budget for this car. So they just got an old police car that Las Vegas let them loan to put Jacob in. So Jacob comes out of the car. He gets on top of the police car. He just goes on basically of what happened to him last week. People who do not know, last week Drew jumped Jacob and was beating him, and he put the handcuffs on him and was beating him, and just so forth and so on. So Jacob basically says that, Drew, you put me in a handcuff trying to embarrass me in front of my family last week, but they're not embarrassed of me, and I'm not embarrassed of the situation that you done to me last week, and I'm gonna put this in my rear view mirror. Basically saying he's putting that behind him, so he doesn't care. And just saying that he really doesn't care about what Drew does. All he knows that he's going to beat Drew at WrestleMania tomorrow, and that'll be all. Because tomorrow at WrestleMania will be an unsanctioned match between them, so anything goes. And Jacob also pointed out that Drew doesn't have anyone to help him, or no one has to cover his back. So, I don't know. Since he said that, it made me think that somebody might come out to help Drew, but I don't know. With Jacob, it can be anybody. It can be any one of the Samoan cousins, uncles, all of them. So, I don't know. But it was that. So then it cuts to a Charlotte and Alexa promo, basically saying the same thing, that they are going to be the next women tag team champions, and they have a match with Lyra and Bailey today. And basically they're going to be friends even after WrestleMania, but it doesn't look too likely. I feel like one of them are going to cross each other during WrestleMania if they lose. But I don't know if y'all heard the news. That I'm not sure if this is a rumor or not, or is it true, but for some it's saying it's true, that Nikki Bella actually got injured a couple weeks ago, and she's not medically cleared to wrestle for the championship. So I don't know what they're gonna do with that. But it has been a rumor that Paige has signed a multi-year with WWE. So is Paige gonna come out and help Brie Bella? I don't know. Or I was actually also thinking Alicia Fox. Because people who do not know, back in the day, Alicia Fox used to be teamed with the Bellas, to be like Team Bella or some crap like that. That would be cool if Alicia Fox comes there for that one day. Since TNA and WWE did have this partnership thing at one point, that would be cool. So y'all, the next match of the night, we had R-Truth and Damian Priest versus Kofi and Grayson Waller. This match was an okay match. Like I said, a normal tag team match, except you have R-Truth giving funny moments of him acting like he is Kofi's tag partner, but that ended up causing him the distraction for Damian Priest and him to do a 5-knuckle shuffle to Grayson and Kofi, and ending up picking up the win, and retaining the tag team championships. My ad, I didn't say that. It was going for the men's tag team championship. But all in all, decent match. I'm gonna give it a 5. Like I said, it was a good match. Had its good moments, had, kind of boring times. Typical tag team match, but that was it. So y'all, the next segment of the night, we had Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley's last promo cut before WrestleMania, and it was just the typical promo cut that they normally do. So Jade comes out first and she tries to speak, but Rhea cuts her off and wastes about 10 minutes of her time, her walking to the ring. So basically, Rhea tells Jade that she hides behind B-Fab and Michin, which is true. She's been doing that this whole entire time. And I want to go ahead and say, Jade looked amazing tonight. Even though she looked like a teddy bear, because she had a whole brown fit, fuzzy 2-piece, she looked great. But Rhea just goes ahead and says that she's been hiding behind them, and basically she's nothing without them. And then Rhea goes on to say, I am a multi-time champion WWE. And Jade tries to talk, says that, oh yeah, I'm hiding behind them, whoa, 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 whoa. And then B-Fab takes up for Jade. Don't know why even B-Fab is even talking, because you are just a lackey behind Jade, even though y'all were just beefing like 3 weeks ago. But anyway, so Rhea comes back and says that basically what I've been saying, that she is only a champion for show, and she only hides behind social media and beef having them. And she is a narcissist that Rhea called Jade. And I think that's a little bit of truth, because them two were going at it on social media. So that might be a little bit of truth. Like I always said, Jade is a good champion on paper, but she's not a good champion for TV. Like, she has the look of a champion, but she just don't be doing nothing for me to be like, that's a champion. That's what a champion should look like. Rhea is a champion. She always defends that championship no matter what's going on. And Jade has not done that. To me, Jade has been a boring champion. I said I have no ill against her. I think she's beautiful, she's talented, but she's just not a good TV champion. She's just boring. There's no power there for me to really be like, I like her. It's just for look. But yeah, that was their last stand talk before WrestleMania. So guess we're gonna see in the next 2 nights how that match is gonna play out. So y'all, the next match of the night, we had Tiffany Stratton versus Jordynne Grace. Now, I knew that Jordynne Grace was injured a couple weeks ago, and now she is back. Now, this match is for being the number 1 contender for the Women's United States Championship. And I found this kind of random for Jordynne to be randomly involved. I feel like maybe I'm missing something. I might have missed something. I don't remember her being a part of the storyline for being in the United States Championship. But I might just forgot because she's been off TV for a little bit. But I definitely think that Tiffany does need to be the champion. Julia really isn't doing anything. Nothing really interesting for her being a champion, but she is a champion. I think they're holding it until Chelsea comes back and be healthy. That's when the championship becomes actually irrelevant, and Chelsea is very funny. I love Chelsea Green. I think she's a good, funny champion. She is amazing. But the match between Tiffany and Jordynne Grace, it was okay. It was a little boring. Like I said, I guess they're just trying to waste their time before WrestleMania. So they're just trying to just find something to keep everybody entertained for one more day. So I'm gonna give this match I'm gonna give it a 5. It has some surprising things that both Jordynne and Tiffany done in the ring, but it was kind of a boring match. I didn't really care for it as much. Like I said, Jordynne becoming a person as a number 1 contender is random. But like I said, I don't know if I forgot if she was even part of the storyline in the beginning. But yeah, that was it for that match. So y'all, the next segment of the night, we had Sami Zayn and Trick Williams. Trick Williams came out to the ring and he was calling out Sami. Basically, Sami is just, he's sorry. Sami is sorry. He's just not a good champion. Nobody likes Sami. And then he's like, come on, Sami. And there's the gingerbread man. And he's like the gingerbread man off of Shrek. If you've ever seen Shrek, he's that gingerbread man. Outfit at all. So he comes out. And at first, I thought the gingerbread man was Lil Yachty. But it wasn't Lil Yachty. It was just a random person they had. So he goes out, starts making jokes at the gingerbread man. And saying like, oh, Sami, you think you're going to keep your championship at WrestleMania? No, I'm going to stomp you out in my lemon pepper steppers. So then the real Sami Zayn comes out. And he's just like, haha, very funny Trick. You saying that nobody likes me and I'm a bad champion, but you're just a rookie. I will say, that didn't sit well with Trick. And Trick was like, I accomplished so much in my 4 months being on SmackDown that you basically has not accomplished in your whole career in WWE. So they basically have a back and forth match. And basically, Sammy tells Trick that he isn't the package. And Trick looks Sammy up and down and he said, no, bro, I am the package. And the fans were going crazy. So then Sammy didn't like that. And they had a little fight in the ring, little back and forth, a little squabble, I'll say. Really nothing crazy. So then Sammy ended up kicking Trick out the ring. And then Sammy gave the gingerbread man a haluva kick. And that was it for that. And he gave him the kick that the actual gingerbread man's head like literally did a full like rotation, so now his face is like in the back. So it was that. It was a good promo, probably the best promo of the night. I guess the promos are saving the show because the matches are definitely not saving it. So y'all, the next so-called match that we was trying to have, it was Charlotte Flair and Alexa versus Lyra and Bayley. And the match truly never even started because Lash and Nia ended up jumping Bayley and Lyra, just everybody. This match technically didn't even start. It just went to a DQ. But I'm assuming they had to cut it due to the time because it's almost 10:30 and they're cutting it close on time. So yeah, I don't even know why they even showed this. They couldn't even just have this match. They could have just cut it in general and nobody would have cared. They would have just held it until WrestleMania. But I don't know. Who knows about them? So, y'all, the last match of the night was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Who knows, a mouthful. And that was probably the best moment of the night. We have a lot of people that we haven't seen in a while. A lot of people from the AAA company. Some people from NXT came over there. It was a good one. The last 3 people that was in there was Tyler Tonga and Otis and Royce Keys. And the winner of the whole battle royal ended up being Royce Keys. And that was not on my card of who I thought it was going to win. I honestly thought it was going to be Tyler Tonga. But that's probably the best match of the night. So I'm gonna give it a good 7 out of 10. Good match of the night. Congratulations to Royce Keys being the new person on the list. I don't know what you even would call that. A winners of being the Andre the Giant Memorial winner. But yeah, pretty much a good match. Okay, guys, we're in the last segment of the night. We had Cody Rhodes, and he just really didn't say a bunch of nothing. He kind of repeated everything that Randy has told him, and saying that Randy said that he takes everything, but Randy has never truly won anything fair his whole career. That's basically what Cody said, and he just goes on about Randy. Basically repeating everything that Randy already said and hyping up one more time for this WrestleMania match. But then we get CM Punk come out of nowhere. He's in a suit and tie because he said he's going to go to the Hall of Fame ceremony after the show ends. And he basically, him and Cody are just warning each other about each other's opponent at WrestleMania. And no matter what's going to happen, both of them are going to be at Monday Night Raw or vice versa. Basically, just preparing each other for their matches and giving each other their flowers. And they gave each other beautiful speeches to one another. It was really beautiful. And at the end, Cody said that Dusty Rhodes was one of Punk's favorites, basically. And then he started getting choked up and saying that his dad really loved CM Punk. And y'all know Cody is emotional. I mean, if y'all didn't know, Cody's very emotional. He cries every other, like, month. But I can't say it's not justified. It's always about his father. So it's justified in a way. But it kind of just makes you very happy at how he will still, like, care about the business as much as Cody and Punk does. So it's always a great thing to see. But basically they just close the show out, them hugging, and they're gonna go in the crowd and hype the crowd up for them to leave for the Hall of Fame ceremony. And guys, that was the show for tonight. So my rating of the show, I'm gonna give it a 6. Not really a good show. Only thing good about these shows with the promos. That's the only thing that really saved them. Trick promo was a good promo. I mean, for me, the best match of the night was the men's battle royal for the Andre the Giant statue. Other than that, really no other match really got me a pop. But after that is basically the show for tonight. I want to say thank y'all for listening and hanging out with me, and y'all will see me on Saturday. I will be also posting my review and talked about WrestleMania for night 1. I will be doing 1 and 2 tomorrow. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all my predictions of what is going to happen for WrestleMania night 1. Okay guys, so here are some of the matches for WrestleMania night 1 tomorrow. If you are on Easter time like me, it will start at 6 o'clock, and if you're on Pacific, it starts at 3 o'clock. So here are some of the matches. If you don't know, you have Randy versus Cody, and I am all for Randy. I think Randy is going to take it. I feel like if he does not win, people are going to be hot because I think people are a little bit tired of Cody, but I don't think they really mind that he's a champion, but I think Randy. And then we have Gunther versus Steph, and I'm kind of iffy on this one, but I can kind of see it going to Steph, but I'm going to say Gunther because they love putting Gunther over. And then we also have to remember that Paul Heyman has some type of deal with Gunther, so Paul might come out and distract Steph. So we got that. Then we got Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. I'm gonna give this to Jacob. I don't see Drew taking it. I don't see it at all. Then we have AJ versus Becky. I think AJ is going to retain it, and it's going to be AJ's win. So next we also have Stephanie Valkyrie versus Liv Morgan. And honestly, I'm not really too crazy for Liv right now, but I can see it going to Liv. Liv is very over. People love Liv, so I can see it going to her. Then we have the women's fatal 4-way for the tag team championships. I can kind of see it going to Bayley and Lyra. For my thing, I'm gonna say Bayley and Lyra. But then I think Charlotte and Alexa is gonna turn on each other eventually, and Nikki's situation is up in the air. So Paige might come back. They're saying Paige signed a multi-year contract with them, so it could be Paige coming back. And I also said Alicia Fox because they was in a group at one point. And then you have the Usos and LA Knight versus the Vision with I Show Speed. And I can see this going to the Usos in LA Knight. I don't see the Vision winning, because I Show Speed is like cursed or something still, so I don't see them winning this. So those are my predictions for Saturday night. And yeah, I have high expectations for this. I think Saturday night is going to be the best night. I think their matches are just a little bit more entertaining than Sunday. But that's just me. I think they have more exciting matches, but then I'm also still looking for Sunday's matches too, but especially that Oba and Brock one. Yeah, I think that's gonna be probably the best one of the whole WrestleMania show. But thank y'all for listening and watching. Be sure y'all like, subscribe, comment if you want to, share it with your friends if you want to, and continue support. I want to hear what some of y'all opinions are. If y'all feel confident to respond, and I will respond back, and also like your post and comment. But after all that, be sure to love one another, be blessed, and mental health matters. Bye.